Today I'd like to show you how to make Bourguignon beef with baby potatoes and green beans. Allow me to introduce you to the ingredients. We have 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 3/4 of a cup of 200 millilitres of red wine, 3/4 of a cup or 200 millilitres of beef stock, 1.5 pounds or 700 grams of steak diced into 4cm cubes, half a pound or 250 grams of baby potatoes, half a pound or 200 grams of bacon diced, 3/4 of a pound or 400 grams of fresh mushrooms quartered, half a tablespoon of dried thyme, half a tablespoon of dried parsley, 1 bay leaf, 1 white onion diced, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic frozen and defrosted, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, half a tablespoon of Worcester sauce, half a tablespoon of light soy sauce, 3 carrots cut into large slices, 1.5 tablespoons or 20 grams of cornflour, 2.5 tablespoons or 35 millilitres of water, and half a pound or 300 grams of green beans. So we're going to need a few pieces of equipment today. One is a glass bowl, a slotted spoon, and a spatula. For the beans and the carrots, we're going to want a vegetable steamer and a trivet, so we can place the trivet directly on top of the Bourguignon beef and the steamer onto that. We can then, obviously having our green beans and our carrots directly on top of the green beans and cook all as one. And then a ladle and some tongs for serving. So let's get started. Firstly, we want to remove the lid and we want to select brown and saute. Next, we want to add a tablespoon approximately or a good glug of oil. Now that the temperature is approximately halfway to full temperature, we can begin by adding the bacon. And next, the mushrooms. We now want to give that a good stir. And allow a few minutes to fry. At this stage, if you wish to, you can add salt and pepper. And stir. Once you're happy with how well cooked the ingredients are after a few minutes, we can simply switch off the pressure cooker and, using our bowl and a slotted spoon, remove the ingredients. We now want to place this to one side for adding later on. Now we've transferred the bacon and the mushrooms into a bowl, we can then begin the saute process by selecting brown and start. We can now add the beef and give that a good stir. And once the beef is about halfway browned, we can add the onions. Now that the beef is suitably browned and the onions have fried, we can re-add the mushrooms and the bacon. After a quick stir, we can now begin to add all of the remaining ingredients with the exception of the potatoes, carrots, cornflour, water and beans. So we start with our wine, our stock, thyme, parsley, bay leaf, garlic, tomato puree, Worcester sauce and soy sauce. We now want to give that a good stir to combine. Now that the ingredients we've added have had a moment to combine, we can switch off saute mode, add our potatoes, and checking the lid is set to locked and not vent, we can add the lid and select manual mode, 35 minutes. If you wish to, you can select turbo mode and that will take it down to 21 minutes. Now that the 35-minute non-turbo or 21-minute turbo cook time is completed, we're going to allow for a 10-minute pressure release. Now that the pressure cooker has had 10 minutes to naturally depressurize, we can switch off and open the vent. Now that the vent's unlocked, we can remove the lid. It's at this point we want to add the vegetables, so we can simply add the trivet, place in the green beans on the steamer basket, and add the carrots directly into the steamer basket on top. We now want to place the lid back on and close the vent, setting to lock. And we want to choose manual, 2 minutes. Start. The pressure cooker has come up to pressure and a 2-minute timer for the vegetables has begun. Once the timer completes, we can instantly depressurize. So the pressure cooker has now completed its timer. We can now switch off. If you wish to, place a tea towel over the top and open the pressure valve. Now that the lid is unlocked, we can remove the lid and using heat-proof gloves, lift off the veg, remove the trivet, and we just want to place the carrots back into the pot. Meanwhile, we can place the beans to one side for a moment and select brown and saute. Using our ladle, we just want to give it a mix. And then with our corn flour, we want to use a spoon and just add water and stir. Once that goes from a solid into a liquid, we can add directly into the Bourguignon beef and stir. After a minute or so, that should begin to thicken. Meanwhile, we can get the plates ready. After a minute, we can switch off saute mode. So it's now time for the taste test. The meat is incredibly tender, absolutely full of flavour. The gravy is so incredibly rich. The beans have a slight element of crunch to them, and the carrots are perfectly al dente. The potatoes are absolutely superb, and with the addition of the bacon, is like the icing on the cake. For something so incredibly delicious that can be made so quickly and so simply, I highly recommend it. Loaded with veg, loaded with flavour, and incredibly healthy for you too. So I hope you're enjoying the cooking as much as I'm enjoying the cooking, and I hope you're enjoying the eating as much as I'm enjoying the eating. Thanks again, see you in the next one. If you like what you've seen today, simply subscribe to stay up to date with the latest videos.